Hi, welcome to the National Career Stories online news. I'm Robin Stienberg, and welcome to our show again. Today we have an interesting author who's going to release his new book this week, and that is none other than Cool Cash, that's the title. And it's written by Mr. Wahid Dizzle himself, and he's right here with me. He's going to tell us more about his new book. Mr. Wahid, tell us more about this new book, Cool Cash, and what actually inspired you and Ivanhoe.
Okay. Well, some time ago, about 2 years ago, Ivanhoe, who's one of my students, approached me and said, "Prof, I have this idea." And his background was that during his national service, he had some extra time, but he needed to earn some extra money. So he was thinking, what can I do in my spare time? What kind of hobby can I use, something that I enjoy doing, to earn some money? So he started with tuition and teaching people instruments, and all of a sudden he thought, I can use this for other people too. I can help people to discover what they're good at, and they can use it to earn some extra money, whether it's an auntie or a student, or it doesn't matter, anybody in their spare time. So that's how he came up with the idea, but he needed a partner. He needed somebody who's published before, somebody who was in touch with the publishing houses and all of that, and who could also give some input from the marketing and branding side. And because I work in branding, he approached me and he said, let's do this together. So we sat down and looked at how can we structure this book, and we found more than 25 cases of people who have gone out there, discovered what they feel passionate about, and also that means what they're good at, and how can I make money from making this hobby into something that pays.
Now, speaking about hobby, do you think that the next generation, or even this present age, everybody's going to be moving towards the internet age, as well as working from home, and there'll be more of less office space that will be taken up, but more home-based businesses?
Ideally, for many of the ones that we spoke to, that's what they're kind of looking at. So it starts off as a hobby. It starts off in your spare time, while during the main part of the day you still slave away in your office. But hopefully, if it takes off, you can be so successful that you can make it into your full-time job. So we have a few internet people that are doing blogs, interesting blogs about fitness, for example. But we also have people that just walk other people's dogs, and that grew over time. Or we have one pole dancing instructor who's teaching older women pole dancing. Both from a kind of fitness background, but also to rediscover that kind of sexiness. So it's interesting. It's a whole wide range, and the idea is that you start small, that you think about what do I really enjoy doing, and slowly build it out over time. So at some stage, maybe it can become a full-time job.
Well, for all our fans around the world in 156 countries right now watching, can you tell us what are the key lessons that you have learned in writing this book, Cool Cash, alongside with Ivanhoe?
Okay, I think the first lesson is really that you need to find your passion. You need to find something that you feel passionate about, that you really want to do. And how do you do that? Look at the things that you enjoy. Look at how do you spend your time anyway. Because there's no point in just picking up something because it may pay you if you don't feel like doing it. Because if you don't have passion for it, you're not going to be good at it. So step number one. Step number two, you also need to keep an open mind and not maybe not listen to all the people out there, especially here in Singapore, who's like, oh, it'll never work, and better go to a big bank and be safe. Keep an open mind how best to do it, but also stay positive and really start slowly, step by step. And I think that's the main lesson, that you really need to, once you found your passion, you make a plan, and our book helps in a very step-by-step format. You make a plan, you start small, and then you grow. And you start within your neighborhood maybe. It doesn't have to be online, it could be in your local neighborhood where you live. And if you're good at this, word will spread. Word of mouth will be created. And that's how you do it.
So what's next for you and Ivanhoe right now? Would you be creating a biography after this?
I don't know. We haven't thought about that. The book is coming out today, so all our efforts go into promoting this, and just to give people something that they can learn from. Because it's not just cases; it's also the whole kind of system, how you do it. and hopefully many people can pick up some tips from here and develop their hobby jobs into something that can actually pay them money. After that, maybe some of them, we have the chapter at the end, stay in touch with us through our Facebook page, and hopefully people that have discovered their own passion and their own hobby jobs, maybe they come back to us and give us their cases, so that's even cooler cash, the next book.
Wow. Now, can anyone find you on your Facebook as well as the website? Is there a website where they can find some form of consultations?
We're concentrating on the Facebook site, which is also, if you look for Cool Cash on Facebook, you can find it. And this is where we have lots of other materials that didn't make their way into the book, and people can ask questions or send in their own cases, and we will answer, because we want to have a conversation with them.
Well, thank you, Mr. Wahi, for sharing with us your latest book and a new release, Cool Cash. And for all our viewers around the world in 156 countries, Shana Tova for our Jewish community, and as well as to all our friends, thank you for joining me here at the National Critics' Choice at Robin Steinberg. Have a good week ahead.